Can you see the full screen?
Yes, we can see. I think you can close that picture-in-picture screen. That is coming on the screen. Yeah, yeah, that you can close from the cross button. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Fine.
Okay. Thanks for introduction. I'll start. So today's topic is basically a technology that we have developed in last 10-20 years, which is called AgroGaz. That is our brand. But basically the technology is regarding bioenergy solution, and I feel that it is a revolutionary technology that here we have developed, and it is at the last phase of the commercial demonstration stage in Punjab. All these details will be elaborated in the um, uh, presentation itself. So when we say it is energy solutions and energy technology, what does we energy means to a common man? So when we say it's a transportation energy or a transportation fuel, we specifically use petrol and diesel as a transportation fuel. So that is one part of the energy. When we consider industrial fuel as an energy, we consider coal, fuel oil, or LDO as a form of energy. And coal means effectively the electricity, the power that is used by mostly the industries. And when we consider domestic energy, the domestic fuel that we consider is mostly LPG and kerosene. So these are different fossil fuels that we are using: petrol, diesel, coal, LPG, and kerosene over last almost 100+ years. Um, and when we say when we are developing a substitute to all these things, so substitute to all these fossil fuels, then one may doubt ki whether is it possible to have 100% substitute to all these fossil fuels. So let us go one by one. Before we start, let us have a scenario at a national level scenario where we will see what is actually the energy demand and how much of fuel that we want to replace and substitute by this bioenergy. So as far as petroleum products are considered, the India's consumption of crude oil as on today is around 250 million tons. Out of that 250 million tons, about 210 ton, that is about 85, more than 85%, we import from different countries like Middle East and now from Russia, America, and all other countries, where the net import value of this import of crude oil is last year is of the order of 16 lakh crore. It is more than 15 lakh crore. Let us forget about the exact figures. Whatever figures I will telling me will be about 90% perfect, so that will not get mixed up in the figures, but roundabout figures that I will always show, so that the concept behind all these figures should be properly understood. Similarly, like the coal, we require about 500 million tons of coal every year to generate about 3 lakh megawatt of power, that is installed power capacity. And of that, about 60-70% is based on coal. And unfortunately, though India has a relatively large quantity of coal reserves available, still the quality of coal is not good. It has more ash in it. And so we import about 100 million tons of coal from South Africa, Indonesia, Australia, these different countries. So considering as far as India is considered, as I stated, the challenge in front of us is that we import about more than 85% of the crude oil requirement. We also import more than 50% of our gaseous requirement, gaseous fuel requirement, that is specifically LPG and LNG. That also we effectively 50%, more than 15% of our requirement is made by the imports. So it is also applicable. It is what we are saying, crude oil. But for vegetable oil, also India is a deficit country, and we import vegetable oil as well. So and the import bill, as I said, is more than 50 lakh crore, 15 lakh crore. And it's absolutely the energy security of our country is at threat. There is no doubt. Initially, it was about 50% or less than 50%, but every year our dependency of import is increasing. Last year, it was more than 87%, and maybe down the line, it will cross 90 within a couple of years, even 90%, and it will be a very serious and severe condition as far as India's energy security is considered. When we say we want to have an energy solution to all these things, what are the criteria and what are the pillars that our solutions should stand for it? So when we started our research about 20 years back, we identified four key criteria, so that if we can satisfy all these four key criteria, then only the 100% substitution to existing fossil fuel, petrol, diesel, and all other things would be satisfactorily met. So our criteria are like that. First, whatever solution we develop, demonstrate, should be technically feasible. That means it should run the same car, it should run the same bus that has been existing, it should run the light up the same lamp. So whatever existing infrastructure is available in country or maybe around the world, the same infrastructure should be utilized to have the substitution effect. So we want to replace petrol equivalent that can be used in the same vehicle. The bus should be same bus should be used. Only some minor correction, minor modification, kit fitting here and there may be possible, but we should not change the complete infrastructure of the application of that energy sources. So it should be technically feasible. Feasible is the main criteria of it. Then the second criteria we thought for ourselves was whatever solution we provide should be economically viable. That means in simple financial terms, we can say it should have a simple payback of less than 3 years or around 3 to 4 years. So whenever it should be bankable solution. So whatever technology and solution we would generate and provide, it should be bankable. No government subsidy should be required. It should be market supported technology. So this economical viable develop a technology which is economically viable as well was one of the toughest challenges that I faced in last almost 20 years of my research. But fortunately we are there. But these were the criteria we identified about when we started our research. The third criteria is also nowadays very important, is whatever solution we provide should be environmentally sustainable. As everyone, you know that the fossil fuel that we are burning is increasing the carbon dioxide percentage in the atmosphere, which effectively is warming up the atmosphere, and it's a global warming is the end result of it. So the temperature of the atmosphere is increasing, the icebergs are melting, the sea level is rising, and there is a lot of disturbance in all the environmental issues. So, so we thought that whatever technology and whatever fuels and substitution will develop should be environmentally sustainable. That means in simple terms, we should get the carbon credits and effectively we should cool down the earth. So today fossil fuel are warming up and it's a global warming case. And so whatever we develop should not add to this global warming, but rather it should cool down the earth. And even whatever warming up has taken place should also be reduced. So that should be the power of the technology that we develop. So this is the third criteria, environmental sustainability. And the fourth criteria we kept in front of us, that whatever solution we have should not create additional social issues. So it should be socially acceptable. In many cases, in many biofuel technologies, they are using food atoms to substitute, and they are threatening food security to substitute and to get energy security. So like ethanol, if we produce ethanol based on say maize corn, then what humans and animals will eat if we convert all this maize corn into ethanol and run the vehicle. So when we say socially acceptable thing, we spelled out that we want energy security without compromising food security, without compromising fodder security, without compromising whatever fertilizer security. So we want energy security as an additional thing. It should not get compromised by the food security and all other social securities that do exist as on today. So when we started our research about 20 years back, all these key 4 criteria, technical feasibility, economical viability, environmental sustainability, and social acceptability, was one of the very, very large challenge in front of us. Rather than telling about the challenges, I'll directly move to the solutions that we have developed and what we can provide. This is one of the standard case that a huge quantity of rice straw stubble is now burnt in Punjab in the month of October and November, and it gives so much smoke that our capital city Delhi becomes a gas chamber. So at one side there is a biomass available, not in small quantity, in millions of tons of rice straw. More than 20 million tons of rice straw is only burnt in Punjab. Considering Haryana and Western UP, more than 50 million tons of rice straw is burnt every year, and that creates a huge smoke, smog, fog, everything in the October-November season. And the North India almost gets choked up, and our Delhi becomes the most polluted city in the world. And one of the reason of that that pollution is the stubble burning, because in Punjab they have to cultivate. When they harvest rice, actually harvest grain, they don't know what to do with the remaining rice straw or stubble, and they want to cultivate the wheat crop immediately. As there is no option for the biomass, they simply burn it in couple of hours and start plowing and cultivating wheat as a next season, because they have to catch the winter season that is coming in December, January, February. So this is one of the challenge. So in India, huge biomass is available, but it is relatively not utilized. The other scenario, wherever there is agro residue available, we should use that agro residue. But otherwise, we also evolved a technology that called energy farming, where you can see on the screen, it's a Napier grass, and it grows very fast. And on every acre, we can get about 200 tons of Napier grass in green form per acre per year. The top left side photo is the crop that we get after 1 month. The right hand side top photo is that the crop grows in 2 months. And the bottom picture that I'm standing is a crop that has been grown in 4 months. So every 4 months, the Napier grass grows 8 to 10 feet high. If we cut it, again in 4 months, it grows again 8 to 10 feet. Again, if we cut it, again it grows 8 to 10 feet. And it grows and grows and grows over months and decades, years and decades. So I have seen a plot in Rahuri Krishi Vidyapit, Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapit, where, and even we have one plot where for last 30 years, the same cultivation that was done previously, about 30 years back, it's still delivering grass. And growing grass can be grown and is delivering yield. So we have 2 options. First, when we say bioenergy, the question will come into our mind, where is biomass? So there are 2 options. One is agro residue, that is like rice straw, wheat straw, cotton straw, turatia, paratia, all that kind of thing. Even sugarcane bagasse, sugarcane press mud, sugarcane trash that is being burned. Even in North India, we have a huge quantity of bamboo available. More than 55 million tons of bamboo in North India goes west every year, because there is no application and there is no use of that bamboo. And bamboo is also high growing grass itself. So this is Napier grass. Bamboo is a higher yielding variety of grass, but all these are grasses. So it can be any grasses. And similarly, considering even the urban area, it can be food waste, plate waste, kitchen waste, chicken waste, veg, non-veg. So these are different forms of biomass. So it may be urban wet waste coming from hotels and kitchen. It can be agricultural waste, which is coming like in Punjab and other places from agriculture. Or otherwise, we can grow grass, which is a form of biomass, and we can utilize all this biomass, and we have to substitute effectively petrol, diesel with technical feasible option, economical viable, environmentally sustainable, and socially acceptable option. So now let us go to a little in depth for the solution as well. So whenever we have a biomass that is been as a part of production, we have two routes that this biomass can be converted into products or fuel products or energy product. One is if it is simply dried, whatever biomass we have, and converted into pellets and briquettes, then it acts like just like a green coal. We call it green coal or white coal. It can 100% substitute the conventional black coal. A normal calorific value of this conventional biomass, all agro residue, is about 3,500 kilocalorie per kg. And maybe coal may be having 2,000, 3,000, even 5,000 and 6,000 kilocalorie. But this normally the biomass is about 3,500 kilocalories to 4,000 kilocalorie per kg. And it can just burn like a coal. And now government of India has come up with a GR that all these conventional thermal power stations should use about 5% of the green biomass, that is coal and pellets and briquettes, green coal, and substitute and replace it at least 5% of the black coal by using this biomass. So this is nothing but a dung cake we use it, or the wood that we use it. So whatever biomass we have can be converted, can be dried, converted into pellets, briquettes, or some standard size forms of fuel, and can be used in thermal power station to generate electricity, or can be directly, there are now boilers available, biomass based boiler, so that can produce steam, that can produce heat, and whenever heat or steam application is there, this biomass can directly use. So we can either collect the agro residue, collect it, convert it into pellets and briquettes, and directly use as a substitution to coal to generate heat and steam. Similarly, the second route is more tricky, and where we have done a lot of research. The same biomass can also be converted into green gas, that is CNG, specifically that is methane. And once we make it methane, that we can convert it into CNG, compressed natural gas. We here call it CBG, compressed biogas. And then it can directly substitute petrol, diesel, and LPG. You may see that in Pune and Mumbai and Delhi, everywhere, all the petrol vehicles, that auto rickshaws and taxis, they were running on petrol, are now replaced by CNG, that is compressed natural gas. But compressed natural gas, the gas, though it is naturally available, basically the gas is methane. So it runs on methane. So once we have a methane, it can substitute petrol. The same Best Bus or PMT bus in Pune is also running on CNG. So the same methane can substitute the diesel as well. And the same gas, methane gas, when comes via pipeline, PNG, pipe natural gas, to our houses, it can directly substitute LPG as well from the kitchen. So in the kitchen. So effectively, once we have this methane, we can have 100% substitute to petrol, diesel, and CNG. But only question is how the methane will come from this biomass. Just to have a visual idea. So whatever I said, whatever biomass we have can be cut, can be dried, can be shredded and densified to convert into pellets and briquettes, and directly can be used as a green coal. So this is one route where we have about all the coal, conventional black coal, can be replaced by this green coal and white coal. Similarly, once we have it like a coal, it can be commercially applied in industries, as well as there are small stoves also available, smokeless stoves. We can cook food based on that. So coal can be directly used to cook food as well, a green coal, and can also be used to generate steam and use it to generate power as well. The second route is more promising and more challenging, because though we are importing coal, we are mostly importing petrol and diesel and crude oil. So this is a conventional method. This is a technology that we develop. Conventionally, you may be knowing that, I'll just explain the picture and then I'll explain the concept behind it. But any grass can be cut and fed into the conventional biogas plant or gobar gas plant we cannot for the timing. So a biogas is produced, then we normal composition of biogas in the gobar gas or biogas is about 50% methane and 50% CO2. So we remove the CO2 with using the gas scrubber. We purify the methane to 96-97% of purity. Then we compress the purified gas to 200 bar pressure, and then effectively we compress it and fill it into the vehicle. And bio-CNG can be directly dispensed into the vehicle and we can run the vehicle. So this is one straight route. So any biomass can be converted into biogas, which has about 50% of methane. Methane can be purified, compressed, and dispensed into the vehicle. But all the biomass that is been available is not converted into biogas. So the ligninous component, that is the woody component of the biomass, that is that say rice straw, about 10 to 20 or 25%, the ligninous material is not been digested by the bacteria. So it comes out from the digester undigested. So it can be again whatever solids, that is undigested biomass comes out from the digester, can again be dried and densified and converted into green coal or white coal, and can be used as a coal to generate power. So once we have a biomass, maybe napier grass, rice straw, cotton straw, bamboo or anything, and when we put all that biomass into the digester, say about 50-60% of the biomass gets converted into biogas, can be purified to convert it into CNG, and whatever 30-40-50% is undigested can again be used as a green coal. So the same biomass can substitute effectively petrol, diesel, LPG as well as coal. So 100% of the biofuels can be converted, biomass can be converted to biofuels. And in last couple of years, we did a lot of research in producing biogas based on only rice straw. So that was one of the experiments that we did. And now we have tested, certified all different biomass resources like rice straw, wheat straw, cotton straw, napier grass, and say bamboo, sugarcane trash. So any of the biomass can be converted into directly CNG. And we have developed, fortunately, we could invent, because after the research that we could invent that it is very high speed biomethanation process that we developed, and the conversion takes place within a single day. So if we put say biomass in the digester, the next day it produces gas in a single day, and next day morning if we put it in the say 10 o'clock in the today, the next day 10 o'clock next day we can run the vehicle. So it's an absolutely high speed biomethanation process that we have developed, and this is the thing that is this is the plant that you see is a pilot demonstration plant. It is our R&D center, research and development center at Pirangut, Pune, Maharashtra, India. You are anytime welcome to visit this plant. And the plant was formally inaugurated about 7-8 years back by the hands of Honorable Nitinji Gadkari and Manohar Parrikar, both cabinet ministers that time came and inaugurated the plant. We also ran a bus, PMT bus that time we ran about 3 buses, 200 kilometers, and it was live demonstrated that any agro residue can be converted into methane, biomethane within a single day, and directly we can run the vehicle. So we tested on different auto rickshaws and taxis and bus, and say basically it is CNG. It's nothing but the methane. So once we have a methane, all these vehicles can comfortably be run based on this technique. So this is a live demonstration, the first of its kind, maybe in the world that we have at Pirangut. And now in last 2 years, we are commercially applying this technology at commercial level in Punjab and Haryana and Uttar Pradesh, where actually we have procured more than 1 lakh of tons of rice straw, and the plant is construction is complete. Here at Pirangut, we have a pilot plant where we hardly produce about 100 kg of CNG, but there in Punjab and all these places, every plant we are setting up about 8 to 10 plants where we are working with couple of international investors like Ever Enviro, Also, we are working with Reliance, we are working with Adani, and we are setting up this plant, and technology is provided by us. We have partnered with Thermax as a EPC partner, and also as a consortium partner. And so Primo Engineering along with Thermax, we are providing the complete EPC and O&M technology to all these plants. And the plants that are coming up would be fully commissioned in first quarter of 2025. The construction is over. It is in the phase of commissioning. Already the gas has started producing. We have started running about 100 cars every day of that order. But the capacity of these plants, that each plant would at least run about 500 buses every day. And we are setting up about 10 plants in different part of the country, mostly in Uttar Pradesh and Punjab, and even in other parts of the country. Like we are setting up plant in Maharashtra at Nagpur and other places in Madhya Pradesh also. So this is now the technology is actually getting implemented at commercial level. And as I said, the test of the proof of pudding is in the eating. So now whatever all these 4 criteria that I have suggested, that is the technology that we are demonstrating is technically feasible. So we can run the same vehicle as we are doing. It is economically viable as well. So, but that effectively the last word will be really confirmed as we commercially launch. Full-scale commercial launch would be there. So first quarter of 2025, before 31st of March, we'll be having a full-scale demonstration where we'll demonstrate that it is economically viable as well. On paper it is, and in field also it is getting up, but we'll demonstrate that commercial live only. It is environmentally sustainable because one, you can see that whenever we use biomass in the photosynthesis cycle, it is like CO2 plus H2O in presence of chlorophyll and sunlight. The solar energy is harvested and it gets converted into glucose, and then that glucose is upgraded to starch and proteins and fats and cellulose and hemicellulose. So basically, when plant grows, first CO2 is harvested from the air and it is sequestered in the form of biomass. And the same CO2, when we burn methane and oxidize it, again it goes back into the atmosphere. So there is no addition of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, because, and basically unless and until we harvest CO2, we cannot burn it and convert it into methane and burn it in the vehicle. So we first sequestered CO2 from the atmosphere. So we say we have a right to CO2 back into the atmosphere, and still we can run the vehicle as a part of energy solution. So this is called carbon neutral cycle. There is no addition of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Whereas when we use fossil fuel, we take out say coal or fossil or petrol and diesel crude oil from the earth's crust, and we simply burn it. And when we burn it, CO2 is produced, and there is addition of CO2 in the atmosphere. There is no reverse route. It is only addition of CO2 in the atmosphere. And unfortunately, in last 100 years, the ppm percentage of CO2 that was about 200 ppm at the industrial revolution is 200 years back. Now it has crossed about 420 ppm, and that's why the global warming taking place. But in all biomass-based energy solutions, it is all environmentally sustainable because there is no global warming. Because when we use biomass, basically when the biomass is produced, it sequesters CO2 from the atmosphere, and again we release it back into the atmosphere. So the technology when we use rice straw, wheat straw, cotton straw, already the CO2 from the atmosphere is sequestered. We just convert it into CO2 and CH4, and when we burn it again, it goes back into the atmosphere in the form of CO2. So this is a cycle. So the third option, that the criteria that we said is environmentally sustainable, is also true in all these biomass-based technologies. And the fourth criteria was energy security without compromising food security. So here in Punjab, we can see the case live. Whatever food grain, the rice or wheat, it is been harvested. So the food security is maintained, and whatever is left over. So there are no animals even in Punjab who can eat that fodder as well. So the farmer in Punjab say, you take it free of cost, otherwise I simply burn it. So there is zero value feedstock available in Punjab, and still without compromising food security, we get a biomass which can be converted into biogas and which effectively would 100% substitute fossil fuel. So here I have shown a small picture. So whatever biomass we have, we can bale it, convert it, and so this is, though here we have written pellets, can it is a baling form of biomass that we can do. The bales can be put in the biogas digester. Two small green round figures are here, and whenever biogas is produced, it is stored in the balloon temporarily. Then we normal composition of biomass, as I said, it is about 50% methane, 50% CO2, but still couple of 1 or 2% or less than 1% H2S is there. Some moisture is also there. So we have to remove that H2S as well as CO2 is removed. We purify the gas to methane 96+% purity. The government of India has come up with a bio-CNG standard, which is applicable to fossil CNG as well, IS 16087, which states that whenever you fill the gas into the vehicle, it should have less than 4% of CO2 in it, less than 15 ppm of H2S in it, less than 0.5% of moisture and other gases into it. So effectively, it should be 96% methane in our case. So once it is methane, methane is methane. It may come from fossil source or it may come from biomass source. Methane is methane and it delivers the same output to the vehicle. That is, we can run the vehicle, we can cook the food, and even we can generate power based on that. So once we have that, purify it, compress it, fill it into the cylinder and directly fill into the vehicle. And as I said, whatever undigested part of it can again be converted into pellets, and we can generate electricity or cook food and generate electricity, and we can have a substitution to coal as well. So the left hand side, you can say dry biomass, that may include any of the biomass, that is rice straw, wheat straw, cotton straw, or napier grass or bamboo, whereas the right hand side is substitution to all fossil fuel, including petrol, diesel, LPG, and all these things. Whatever we are coming up to, the economics was more critical and crucial for all that thing. The plants there we are setting up with 10 ton of CBG, 20 ton of CBG are with Reliance. So, but on gross level, I'll tell you the capex and opex of these plants. So, about 10 ton of CBG, that is 10 ton of bio-CNG or CBG, we call it now, compressed biogas. It cost about 5 crore rupees per ton of CBG. So capital cost will be total for 10 ton TPD plant. The capital cost will be 50 CR, and selling cost is nowadays about 80 to 90 rupees. But even considering at 80 rupees, we can consider. And financial viability states that our cost of production of bio-CNG is up to 40 rupees a kg, because it includes the cost of raw material. Normally in Punjab, we get all this raw material at about 2,000 rupees a ton at our end, including baling, raking, baling, loading, unloading, transport, everything put together. We get it at about 2,000 rupees a ton, that is 2 rupees a kg. But even we consider about 2.5 to 3 rupees a kg of a biomass. So considering the consumptive biomass about 5 kg, effectively about 10 to 15 rupees are required for biomass as a source of fuel. Then about 12 rupees are required for power generation, about 2 units of electricity, including all shredding, scrubbing, and then compressing, all put together. 2 units of electricity per kg of methane is required. So that adds to about, considering 8 rupees a unit of electricity, that adds to about 16 rupees. So that is 31 rupees. And all other labor cost is about 5 to 6 rupees and miscellaneous all put together. So 40 rupees per kg is our cost of OPEX. And when we sell at 80 rupees a kg, there is a surplus revenue of 40 rupees per kg. And effectively, we have a simple payback of 3 to 4 years, maybe about 3.5 years. So this has been under trial tested commercially. But this will come true because already the capex is there. There is no change in capex. The raw material, there is no change in raw material. That is also fixed. Only the biogas constant, and actually running a vehicle is within balance. So, so this is all possible is in coming this about a month and 2 months. We will get it done at field level, commercially viable. As we have a methane, and when we have a CNG, compressed natural gas, or a CBG, the equivalent of CNG is CBG in biomass industry, compressed natural gas and compressed biomass. Similarly, now vehicles, the heavy vehicles like truck, bus, railways, and ships, they are not running on CBG, but they are running on LNG, liquefied natural gas. So the same methane, we can also liquefy it and make it liquefied biogas. So once we have the methane, it can be either compressed or it can also be liquefied. So both options, CBG and LPG, are available. There is another technology called steam methane reforming. That is CH4 plus 2H2O gives 4H plus CO2. So the same methane can be converted into hydrogen. CH4 we can remove 4H or 2H2 from the carbon and methane, and we can generate hydrogen. So we can call it biohydrogen. It will be green hydrogen, same quality, same. It is hydrogen. Similarly, we can also convert the methane into methanol if we want to have a liquid fuel specifically. So methane to methanol is a standard catalytic conversion technology. We can have a liquid fuel as well. Also, we can convert it to dimethyl ether, bio-DME, because if we want to replace LPG as is in the same cylinder, then we may convert methane into DME and use the same cylinder, which is otherwise today filled up with the propane and butane 50%, can be replaced by bio-DME or DME in the same cylinder. So, and also whatever biomass undigested is coming out can be converted, can be used as a wood as is, or can be converted into char and used as a charcoal as required. So once we have this methane, effectively we can have a CBG, LBG, hydrogen, methanol, DME, and char as well. So once we have a biomass, all solid, liquid, and gaseous fuel are possible, and we can 100% replace the fuels as is. So to consolidate my presentation, though it took about 20 years for us to do the research, but in last out of that, maybe 18 years were failures of different kind, because it's all microbial process, understanding of microbiology, understanding of agriculture, setting up the plants took a lot many years. But in last 2 years, we are geared up for the commercial demonstration at Punjab and UP and Nagpur and other places. They are coming up. But the technology, whatever we are demonstrating, is absolutely technically feasible. We can replace petrol, diesel, and LPG as is. We can replace coal as is. It is also economically viable. It's all bankable projects. So simple payback is about 3 to 4 years. IRR is from above 15%. So it is economically viable as well. It is socially acceptable. In all these things, we are neither compromising food security nor compromising fertilizer security. So whatever, even in say Maharashtra, whatever bagasse we have, so after taking out sugar, whatever bagasse is left over can also be converted into biogas and we can run the vehicle. So all food atoms are always protected. And the beauty of this technology is social acceptability. The biomass will be generated by farmers at large. So as we want to replace 10 to 15 lakh crores of imports, which otherwise is coming from Middle East, Arab countries and all other so-called wealthy nations, and the same 15 lakh crore we can give to farmers when they will grow Napier grass as an energy crop. So from Annadata to Urjadata, this is the mission that Gadkari ji is always explaining in his talks. We are supporting all that mission, and we are actually demonstrating that Napier grass can be cultivated. And even if you give, say, 500 rupees a ton to green biomass Napier, the farmer will be getting 200 tons of biomass per acre per year. He will earn of the order of 1 lakh rupees a acre a year. So it is absolutely win situation for farmer. So we can, instead of paying to Middle East 15 lakh crore, we can pay to farmers. And lakhs and crores of acres can be cultivated under energy farming. Whenever agro residue is not sufficient to substitute all India's demand, we will grow grass. And it is absolutely socially acceptable technology as well, because the money will go directly to the farmers who otherwise are doing suicide and all other things that we are listening and looking into the society. And also, as it is a carbon neutral technology, it is absolutely environmentally sustainable technology. So all these 4 key criteria are being satisfied, and now that's why I said revolution in energy sector is just around the corner. We are setting up the commercial size plant in next 3 years will be demonstrated, and by end of next year, we are talking today on the end of December this year to 24, but by 24 December, at least 10 to 15 large scale, full scale plants will be set up, and more than 50,000 buses or trucks or maybe a lack of vehicles would be running on this technology by end of next year. So we are at the last leg of this, and thank you for patiently listening. And if there are any questions, they are all welcome. Madam, should I stop screen sharing?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. And that is a great contribution from your side to the industry for this bio in the field of bio CNG. And everyone there are so many questions already in the chat box given. So let us begin, go to it quickly. So the first question is from Mr. Saeed Atik. His question is, Napier grass will produce how much biofuel per hectare or acre? How much is water required during these 4 months, and any challenges?
Yeah. I'll tell you, most of the agricultural university, you can see and listen. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Almost all the agricultural universities in India, including the Rauri Krishi Vidyapit, Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapit at Rauri, Konkan Krishi Vidyapit, I visited at least 10 agricultural universities across the country, and they have developed this Napier grass as a fodder crop. Already lakhs of farmers are cultivating this grass, but using as a fodder, as a byproduct of it is a fodder. But same grass, but can be grown anywhere in the world. It's a grass, so it never dies. When we have seen that even if you burn it at surface level, still next year it grows. So it's a Gramin variety grass, C4 variety grass. It has a very fast growing characteristic. There is no seeds and no flowers for this grass. It has only vegetative growth, and 1 acre a year will produce, and we have a cycle of 120 days of cycle. So every 4 months we harvest it, and so per harvest we get about 70 tons of green biomass, and we can harvest it 3 times a year. So effectively we get 200 tons of biomass. And you please understand that any biomass, when we want to grow, it requires 2 things. That is, one is fertilizer and another is water. But the beauty here in Napier grass that if you do not give water, it will not die. It will remain dormant. Whenever monsoon will come, automatically you can see everywhere. Whenever monsoon is there, we can see the grass across the country. So this is the grass variety. Only the variety is genetically improved variety where it grows very high, fast, and grows up to 10 feet. So it is a very standard universal grass. Any grass we can use, and there are at least 50 different varieties. Here we tested trial with Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapit. They have a Yashwanta, Jaivanta, and Gunavanta, 3 agriculture Napier grass varieties. BioFuels, you may be knowing, Bharatiya Agro Industries Foundation. They have a NB series, NB10, NB14. That is Napier grass mixed with Bajra, hybrid with Bajra. And they have a NB series which is available across the country. So you can just Google it, go to any nearest university, agriculture university or Krishi Vigyan Kendra, and you will get all the details of Napier grass. It has been established across the country from east, west, south, north, everywhere. So it's very routine conventional crop, and we tested for its yield, and we could comfortably grow more than 200 tons a acre a year. At, say, I said with 500 rupees a kg, we can pay farmer about 1 lakh rupees a acre a year. And when our biomass constant is 8 kg of dry biomass, converts it into 1 kg of biofuel and 4 kg of coal. So consumptive biomass is 4 kg of biomass. So if we get, say, about 40 tons of biomass, then 10 ton of petrol, or 10,000 liters of petrol per acre per year can be produced. We can go into more detail. You are all welcome to visit our plant in Perambur because here all question answer may not end, but we'll have some sample question and answer. I'll answer. You are welcome to visit and get more information. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I hope, Mr. Syed, it answers your question. And now, Mr. Narendra, he has a question. Is there any case study for Napier grass biofuel? If so, share. So definitely, I have shared Mr. Santosh email ID. Mr. Narendra, you can directly connect to him on that, and he will be happy to share also.
I'll just here add one thing. As on today, there is no plant demonstration, neither on Napier, neither on rice straw, neither on any. Even we do not have it. We'll be having the first of our commercial plant getting launched in January, February. But if we consider 31st of December 2024, at least I have traveled across the country, across the world to just understand, get all this data. And we also have international patents filed in this, our AgroGaz technology. We hold all global patents in this technology. All 31 countries in Europe, we hold patent. We hold patent in US as well. So we know that even there, no commercial plant is available. And we are setting up the first plant in India, coming up in launch full scale by January and February at that period of time. So neither for Napier nor for rice straw, there are many plants being constructed across the country for last 20 years. But unfortunately, one of the key criteria, either they are not technically feasible or not economically viable or not environmentally or not socially acceptable. Some issue coming with biofuels like ethanol also, second generation ethanol or biodiesel as well. So here, I'll just explain that no plant today exists. We can ask us to come and visit and they can show the demonstration is not available, at least in India and definitely nowhere in the world as well. So we are into second generation bio-CNG. See, Germans have set up more than 10,000 biogas plants in Germany, huge size and quantity, but they all operate on maize grain and stalk together. So if they only use stalk or straw, the biogas will not produce. And our technology is we remove grains, maybe rice, wheat or maize, and only the straw, the stalk is being used to produce biofuel. So all German technology is conflict with the social acceptance. They have a conflict of food and fuel. Whereas in our plant, there is no conflict of food and fuel. So going to detail all the techniques that have been available. But as far as I know, this will be the first plant, commercial plant coming up in next couple of months. Thank you.
I hope that clarifies, Mr. Narendra. Again, he's asking about production and storage.
Production at?
Storage.
Storage. See, production of raw material. Yeah, production of fuel. Fuel. This gas at CNG level, it is compressed at 200 bar and stored into the cascades and dispensed into the vehicle. But the same gas can be liquefied and can be stored over years. So already India imports LNG in the liquid gaseous form. There is a difference between little technology. I'll just explain. When we are using our cooking fuel, like in LPG, it is propane and butane. And the property of propane and butane is that even if we give pressure of say 4 or 5 bar, it liquefies. That's why we call it liquefied petroleum gas. But as far as methane is considered, even if we give pressure of 1000 bar pressure, it doesn't liquefy. So it has to be in the compressed form in natural condition. So we call it compressed natural gas, and compression ratio is very high. It is more than 200 bar pressure. That what we are compressing. And the cylinder that is being used is 1 centimeter thick vessel is required because you have to sustain with that 200 bar pressure. But the same methane can be liquefied cryogenically. So when we cool it at minus 160 degree temperature, it cools down. No pressure is required at that point. But so once we are coming out of the compression, but liquefaction and maintaining that minus 160 degree of temperature is also critical. But now even that different technology has reached even in India. Tatas have come up with the LNG buses. Even Maharashtra state government, ST buses, they are converting their buses into LNG. So there we have a small vessel. It is a double membrane vacuum vessel where we put even gas at minus 160 degree temperature. And if we keep it, the cylinder outside in the atmosphere exposed to sun, even for a month, not even single degree of temperature is false. So it is absolutely pure vessels, vacuum-based vessels available. So when we want to store this methane, we can, on long-term basis, we can convert it into LNG. And once we can directly fill LNG, and we have a tank in the bus and truck, and there online it vaporizes, and actually gases goes to the engine. So all the heavy vehicles, say bus, truck, railway, ships, otherwise when CNG is filled, they have a drivability of say only 100 kilometers. But when LNG is filled, so they cannot run even Pune to Mumbai when it is fully filled. But when we fill LNG, it has a drivability of more than 1,000 kilometers. So it can take 4 rounds Pune Mumbai with the once it is fully filled in LNG form. So a lot of storage technologies are being coming up, and LNG is one of the best option. Liquefied natural gas or liquefied methane is the best option that will resolve us from the storage concerns.
Okay, great. Yeah. Now the next question is from Mr. Naman Kumar. So he's asking, can an individual install this setup at their homes? What would be the smallest amount of biomass required to run the setup for producing CBG?
We can use even the food waste that we have in our kitchen. Even 1 kg of food waste can be converted into gas, and we can cook food. But it need not be compressed and to a CNG level, because that 200 bar pressure and everything requires a lot of explosive licenses and other things. But at home, see, a very conventional gobar gas technology. I'll just explain in 1 minute what our technology is, the secret of our technology. See, you know a gobar gas plant, conventional gobar gas plant. Cow eats the grass, gives dung. We put dung and water into it and put it in the gobar gas plant, and it gives gas. And woman in the small 1-2 cubic meter of gobar gas plants are existing in India. More than 30-40 millions of gobar gas plants are there, and it gives a good gas that gives a blue flame. And women in the rural area cook food based on that. So gobar gas can replace conventionally LPG, because gobar gas is the same blue flame that comes from LPG, also comes from the gobar gas. And the gas that is been burnt, gobar gas, is nothing but methane itself. So, and our CNG, compressed natural gas, where we run auto rickshaws and buses and taxis in Pune, is also methane. And methane is methane. So technically our technology is just to upscale the gobar gas technology on the large scale variety. But the point was, when we started with our thing, there is no cow and there is no dung. So in our technology, we artificially created cow. We did a simulation model of cow, and we replicated cow. See, if you put say grass into the water, it will not produce gobar gas. But if you put dung into the water, it will produce gobar gas. So how to convert grass into dung is done by the cows and buffaloes. So we replicated cows and buffaloes digestion system artificially, and it has been done by the 2 bacteria, acidogen and nitrogen. So we took out those bacteria from cow's stomach. We artificially grown them. We feed them, pampered them, whatever. And effectively, now we directly feed grass into the digester. There are these 2 bacteria. First bacteria converts it into acid, and second bacteria converts it into methane. So it's only the upscale version of gobar gas plant, but without cow and without dung. It's a very established rural technology that is been there in India for last couple of decades, and we are only made it cowless and dungless, and only carry forward the inoculum of this bacteria and carried it further. So our digester has a huge quantity of bacteria into it. It may range from crore to tens of crores of bacteria per milliliter, and they are very hungry. So whatever we feed in, immediately it gets converted into within a single day into gas. Then we purify it and compress it. So it's a upscale version of gobar gas technology only. And what we have created and simulated our patent is artificial creation of this cow's digestive system. That's the simple technology that we have. And once you know this, anywhere, so whatever cow eats is can be converted into dung and we can get a gobar gas plant. So whatever cow eats can be converted into CNG. And whatever even cow doesn't eat, that can also, excluding lignin, the woody material, everything, starch, sugar, protein, fats, cellulose and hemicellulose, everything can be converted into biogas within a single day, because these are the bacteria that are converting it into biogas. And we only later we purify it, compress it and fill it into the, it's a question of couple of hours only. So this is all been done. It's a very simple, 100% we hold, our patents are 100% Indian patent, Swadeshi technology hai. Go Urja we can call it, because all these bacteria come from the cow's stomach. So it's the God's bliss, that Go Mata, what we call it. And when we say there are 33 crores of God in the cow's stomach, I think it was 33 crores of bacteria which are present in the cow's stomach. And actually today now henceforth they will run the bus and truck and rickshaws and car. So it is the same gobar gas technology, just nothing rocket science that we have developed. No modified bacteria we have developed. It's not genetically modified and nothing. Same bacteria which are available in the dung, which are available in the cow's stomach, buffalo stomach, and which has been practiced across many villages which are actually cooking food to produce it as a gobar gas. We are just upscaling it and producing CNG and CBG and filling the vehicle. So it's a very simple technology. Only this inventive part is artificial creation of cow. That's what our invention is.
Right. Yeah. And now the next question is from Jagruti Patel. She's asking, is Napier grass native to India? Are any environmental aspect impact to existing biodiversity?
See, grass is grass. Technically, someone asked me, what is price of our petrol and CNG? I said, every day sun rises free of cost. Because sun rises, there is a rains because of all this monsoon, there are rains which are also free of cost. Whenever it rains, the grass grows, which is also free of cost. Everywhere it grows. And our bacteria, cow stomach, they are also free of cost available. So technically, gas is also free of cost. There is no nature that can hold us. Even as I said, we want to substitute 100% of our import by this grass. Even if we cultivate on our 10% of our India's land, we have a huge quantity of land available, solar radiation available, rains available. Even if you use 10% of the land for energy cultivation, already more than 40% land, fields and everything are barren. So even if we use that part of our land and grow Napier grass, it can 100% substitute all these fossil fuel, that is 16 lakh crore of import can be substituted, even if you harvest 10% of our land. So there is no environmental concern, rather we are cooling down the earth. So that is the environmental contribution that we are giving, and it's 100% Indian technology. I believe that this technology, for all other technologies, engineering, mechanical industry and other coming from Western world to India, but this technology, I'm sure, will go from India to all other parts of the world, because it is Go-Urja and upscale version of gobar gas plant. And only India, there is small 2 cubic meter of gobar gas plants, and I have just upscaled that thing into soluting global challenges of global warming and energy challenges can be solved. So no environmental issues are there. We have to grow grass with proper agronomy practice. So that's all. Even later, if someone is more interested, only urea as a fertilizer is required to grow this grass. Otherwise, water, whatever rains, it can go. And this urea, one may feel that it is a chemical fertilizer, but if someone knows that it's a methane, I think Mr. Nisri is here in the list. He has run the Rashtriya Chemical Fertilizer Plant. He was managing director. So it's the methane that is converted to ammonia, and ammonia is converted to urea. So the same Napier grass can be converted into urea. All these chemical and catalytic conversion processes are available. So the same Napier can produce urea as well, can produce biomass as well, can produce methane as well, and all other fuels as well. So, and once we have a methane as a molecule, even plastic, petrol, diesel, plastic also can be produced once we have a methanol and other routes. So basic building block of all these things is methane. We can have a synthetic gas converted from methane to synthetic gas and have all other Fischer-Tropsch reactions, like everything is there. But only challenge was how to produce methane cheaply. That fortunately we could solve that challenge.
Yeah, thank you so much for the explanation. And now there's a question from Mr. Um, Vaibhav Gudekar. So, he said, what will be the taxes on selling price of CBG?
Government of India has come up with a huge policy of subsidizing and providing subsidy to all these plants. So I'll just tell, when we are setting up 10-ton CBG plant, out of that, as I explained, in 50 crore, about 10 crore of subsidy is been granted by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. So there is about 10 crore of subsidy, that is about 15 to 20%. And in Uttar Pradesh, 1:1 subsidy is declared by Yogi government. So there is another 10 crore that comes from the state government. 10 crore rupees comes from the central government, 10 crores from the state government. So there is about 30% subsidy. And still, when we sell the gas, it comes under renewable energy. So it is charged with 5% GST. So whatever gas we sell, there is 5% GST comes under renewable energy, and still everything is economically viable. And there are subsidies. There are many policies that are coming up. Now, if we produce gas, we need not sell it into the market. The GAIL Authority of India, the Gas Authority of India, has come up with a policy. They have a national gas network. So anywhere you produce gas and just inject gas with that quality, purify it and inject it into their pipe network. So, and they will sell it across the country. Already there is a national network of gas being established by GAIL across the country. Like we are producing electricity and connecting to the national grid. Say wind power, somewhere on the hills we are producing wind energy and connected to the national grid. Similarly, you can produce gas anywhere in the country and just connect it to the gas grid, and they will sell it across the country. So all these new policy are coming up. Subsidy schemes are there, cultivation practice schemes are there. And I give specific honor and respect to Mr. Nitinji Gadkari and our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He has spelled out that vision. At least 10% of our biofuel import should be replaced by biofuel. And based on that initiative, we started working on it, and we made many laws supported to make that law. And so Government of India is 100% supporting all this technology. And fortunately now big brothers like Reliance and Adani are coming up in this CBG sector, and they are promoting Napier grass cultivation on hundreds and thousands of acres. So farmer will also be benefited, but only the missing point was there was no commercial, economically viable demonstration that we are reaching in next couple of months.
Great. I hope that answers your question, Mr. Naman Kumar. Sorry, Mr. Gurde. Vaibhav. Now we have the question from again from Mr. Naman Kumar. So he's asking, what is the minimum area required to set up a commercial plant with the help of Primove Engineering Private Limited? See, at Pirangut, we have done on 1 acre also, and every day we produce 100 kg of CNG. We run 4.10 vehicles every day. In last 2 years, we tested on more than 6,000 vehicles. There is not a single complaint, and they are all repeat customer. But our plant here is a R&D plant. It is not economically viable. To make the plant economically viable, it's all comes under explosive things and all other things. So lot many licenses and other. Though environmentally it is, we operate the plants which are ZLD. They are zero liquid discharge. Only dry thing is fed into the digester. Whatever undigested comes out, again converted into product and sold. So once we take rice straw or wheat straw, whatever grass we consider, we sell either gas or we sell briquettes. So it's a zero liquid discharge. All the bacteria and the slurry we plow back into the digester, put back into the digester. So no water is required technically, hardly fraction of 1% may be required, which evaporates, something like that. So all this, so minimum area that we propose,
should be at least 10 ton of CBG per day. It is not a common man's thing that to invest 50 crore rupees, but all these big company can comfortably. But what common man can do, can utilize this CBG and can also grow grass. So common farmer can grow grass and supply this grass to this industry. They will convert it into CNG. They will sell it. It is just like a sugar factory. So farmers grow sugar cane, and there are say 100 sugar factories. They purchase it at say 3,000 rupees a ton sugar cane, and they convert it into sugar and sell it at 40 rupees or whatever price they get. So lakhs and crores of farmers can cultivate sugar cane. So all farmers can grow Napier grass. There will be some industries, it's an enterprise, which will convert this grass into CBG, and all common man. So we have now, Bajaj has come up with a two-wheeler, CNG two-wheeler. So now we have a technology in India where two-wheeler to railway, all vehicles can be run on CBG. So we can become a consumer and or we can become a farmer. But this intermediate industry requires minimum footprint and minimum scale of plant. That is what we said, 10 ton onwards. In just for information, in Mathura, Uttar Pradesh, we are setting up the Asia's largest CBG plant, which will produce 42 tons of CBG per day with Adani Total Gas Limited. So all these plants will be minimum 10 ton, 20 ton, 30 ton, 40 ton of CBG per day. Minimum has to be, to become economically viable and bankable, would require to be 10 ton. But if economics is not to be considered, we can have a plant only based on 1 cubic meter, 1 kg of kasara in house can be converted. That will cook tea for 5 people. That is gobar gas plant kind of thing. A very small plant can also be built. But CBG is a little upscaled version required to make it economically viable. It comes under all explosive now. Not many safety security consider is to be considered. And we are working with the fuels which are replacing petrol, diesel. So it's not a small thing. But I'll tell you, even one pump in Pune sells 10 ton of CNG every day. So at least in Pune, there are 120 fuel pumps, and across the country, there are 60,000 petrol pumps, petrol diesel pumps. So each pump has to have one plant at the back end, and they sell 5 to 10 tons of CBG or petrol or diesel every day. So at least we should supply to one pump at least. So that size comes to 10 ton of CBG per day.
Yeah. I think we have taken up most of the questions, and Dr. Dhananjay Gandhi wants to speak something. But before that, let me remind all the members of AEE to renew their membership, and those who are looking forward to have a new membership. So you can contact me on WhatsApp so that I can guide you. It's the memberships are available on the aeecenter.org website. So you can register yourself from there. If you face any problem, you can contact me on WhatsApp, and I'll be happy to help. So,
and madam, I have shared you my presentation. If anyone want that, you can share that presentation to all the members.
And like always, we will be sharing this recording of the today's webinar on our YouTube channel, Western AEE Western India is our channel, and everyone can refer to that also.
And also one more thing, we have a small video film available on YouTube. Even if you type AgroGaz, AGROGAS, AgroGaz, it will, the first film will come on YouTube directly, 8 to 10 minutes film. Whatever I have explained just now, you will see in that 10 minutes film all the techniques and technology and live video shooting of our existing Pirangut site plant. So it's all in the public domain. You can go to YouTube, just type AgroGaz, and you will get the first film.
Yeah. So, Mr. Gandhi,
can I intervene?
Yeah, definitely.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Okay. I think I can see, of course, I mean, the question and answer session lasted for more than 20 minutes. So that shows that the subject is very, very interesting, and many questions were there. Of course, it's always a pleasure to listen to Santosh Gondhalekar, and every time he speaks, he tells us something new about this particular subject. So Congratulations, Santosh, and congratulations to you, Mrs. Bhavna Chitawar, for this
Yeah.
interesting lecture. Bio subject is something which is not given so much importance. It was not given importance earlier. We are all talking of energy, wind energy, solar energy to be renewable energy, or maybe uh, uh, you know sugar based disease. But bioenergy per se is always very very prominent for this country. And what I just want to share one thing with you, that one of my friends was the secretary of MNRE. I met him in 2003. He comes from Vidarbha, and we met after 20, 30 years in MNRE office. And he said, everyone is, he was the MNRE secretary, so it's a big shot. So I went to him. Since he was MNRE secretary, I asked him questions about, solar wind. So he said, why talk about this? Why not talk about bio? Bio sector is going to be the most essential for this country. That is proven now. But I think many of my friends have also joined today. I don't know who are they. I saw a couple of names when Santosh was sharing his screen. I saw some names on that of my friends. But I hope, Bhavana Chittawar, I think uh, uh, some of the lectures which we are also arranging, I mentioned to you that I will share the name with you so that they will be useful for you also. Like Santosh, his partner, he's I don't know whether he is attending the lecture today. He said yes, he will. He's attending. So he also gives, he also talks about the similar subject, solid waste, and then you can. So Mr. Ashish Vaishnav, you can also talk to him. Really. One more thing I just wanted to share with you, that congratulations to AEEE. You have opened Pune chapter, and with again many friends of ours. I think Santosh knows that Vinay Mule. You know, he's the secretary. Vinay Gadikar, he is the chairman, and one of my previous members, Murdala Kelkar, also is member. One more student, Ashwini Sasane, is also was our student. Santosh knows, I think, some of these because they are from School of Energy Studies. But I suggest that, of course, Santosh is right from beginning associated with the Prerna Energy Society. And I received a call from Vinay Mulekar saying that why not we have some joint activities. So I said, yes, we will meet in first week of January and we will talk about it. But I thought I will share with you because you are the president of AEEE Western chapter. What I wanted to know was, is there any, amongst the chapters, you have any communication?
No, Pune chapter is recently formed, and as of now, like there is no such communication at present. But definitely, we are planning to have some programs together. So we'll be discussing with them in few coming days.
Okay.
And yeah, so
My suggestion was that why don't you, I mean, at least Pune Center and Nagpur Center, no, they have got similar chemistry of people. Okay, you
yeah,
can have you can have a joint program. You can people from Pune. Now,
mm,
accidentally, I started, attending your program. Similarly, Mr. Nesri and some others, Mr. PG Chavan. I don't know whether he is there today. So only few members, but we can have. Some sort of mutual agreement that we share some of the program, that we can have wider circulation, and we can have also exchange the benefit of the people that we have. We can also share that. This is one
sure.
suggestion. And
Yeah,
of course, with Pune chapter being in Pune, both of us are both Prerna as well as AEEE Pune, so we might be able to have some program. But I feel we have got some members in Nagpur also, Prerna members. They can
yeah,
also join you. So
yeah,
it can be a much better and much bigger exchange.
yeah,
Of,
definitely.
yeah.
Yeah,
Please look into it. I just
yeah,
wanted to
definitely.
share that. But
Yeah,
again, congratulations, Santoshji.
yeah,
Uh, we are both in Pune and talking on this, program which is arranged from Nagpur. It's a great technology, uh, you know. development that is taking place.
Yes.
Congratulations to you both again. Thank you. I
Thank
don't
you
want
so
to
much.
more
Thank you
time.
so much for connecting, Mr. Santosh, to the
Yeah.
forum. Yeah.
I'll just say, Gandhi sir is my guru. He taught me when I did my MTech in energy.
Oh, great. Nice to know. Yeah.
Who are Santosh? Who our members? From Pune who have joined today's lecture? Any idea?
Not all. I have not gone through all the list.
Of course, you will be looking at the screen. I saw Asmita Marathe. Nesri, you just said he was there. Maybe
Yes,
Chavan.
initially I saw Nesri's
Yeah.
name.
And Chavan also usually, he attends the program. Okay, Bhadaji, you also must attend our program. I know it is not convenient for ladies
Yeah.
to join on Sunday at 11 o'clock, but
Yeah.
some of the lectures are really good.
I'll try my best. I'll try.
You see, I just want to remind you, and you can inform your viewers also, that Mr. Nandan Pawar, who again hails from Nagpur, you know him.
Yeah.
He was in Pune. He was my, with working with you also. We have his lecture on 5th January, 11 o'clock on COP 29. Very
Okay.
interesting subject.
Sure.
And if someone from your friends want to join, you can spread this news. If someone wants that access, I will send it to you. Of course, you have my link. You
Yeah.
can see it. Yeah.
Definitely, I'll do that. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay, see you. Bye. You can't
Thank
see me, but I'm just waving my hand to you. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this session. And this was the last session of this year. So now with this session, we complete 2 years of this series complete. So we total had 48 sessions in 2 years. And we hope to continue this again in next year with some new formats also. So look forward to our communications on the LinkedIn and through the email. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr.
Yeah.
Gondhalekar. Thanks
Yeah.
once again. Yeah. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.